6:10 p.m. in Abu Dhabi now. So let us start our today's session. Today is session number 251, and the topic of discussion today is roles of soul in daily activities. It will be basically that I have chosen this for particularly those who joined recently in this year or last year, and we'll go into just to get the fundamentals clear, that what is soul, what is doing, what is the role of our body, physical body, what is the role of our mind, and things like that. It can be seen as just a recapitulation for those who are here in the group for a long time or attended the workshops earlier. But for those who are joined last 1 year or so, then it will be good for you to know that exactly, so that the perspective-wise it is clear that what is the role, interrelation between mind, body, and soul per se. So in this, we'll start with first point is the daily activities in our life. That I don't think I need to explain. That all of us, we are householders. So as we are living in a family. So we have the daily activities, having our own to be in the family, some of the family duties or the personal, works or our professional duties. Then we have to, move around and all those kind of things. So roughly you can say we have 16 hours in a day. We just do a lot of our activities and duties and all the whatever so-called our job or work. And some of them are personal work or the family duties as groceries and all those kind of things. Some of them we have our own, taking care of our own body and, the hygiene and taking bath and brush the teeth, etc. So those are the things we normally do in a normal day. Or sometimes we travel out and eat out somewhere and meet with friends and all. So social activities are also there. So it takes our time. So broadly, if we see that this is the two states normally our physical body operates. One is, we call it awake state or conscious state. So where we do all those kind of things, what I said, approximately 16 hours in a day out of 24 hours, and 1/3 of the time, roughly, I'm saying it varies from person to person, and 8 hours we do need sleep. So that is the time we are not conscious about the outside world. So in that sense, you can say that our 2/3 of the day we have active, activities, which is we are active 2/3 of the day, and 1/3 of the day we are passive, like sleeping, taking rest, and things like that. Yeah? That is normally, this is the kind of routine we have, all of us. So we'll start from there. So that is about the daily activities we do, and that is the active and passive mode of the physical body. As I explained, that whatever we do in the active state, those are the activities we do, and some of the things we don't do any activity, whether we take rest or go to sleep, and that is a passive state of the physical body. So as simple as that. Okay, so there is nothing more to understand in that. Okay, then comes the combined effect of mind, body, and intellect. Okay, as we are mentioning about whatever we do, and so the who actually, is responsible for doing the work, whatever we do in our daily life. There comes it is, even though we have done in a physical body, our physical body is moving or doing or taking some actions. But if we go a little bit, go inside, see who is the responsible for thing, then we come across three things. Yeah. What are the three things? Well, which is operating the body. Body is doing it. So suppose you are watching a TV, maybe body is doing not the active physical work, but it's watching. Watching is also a work, right? Or you writing something, typing something, or checking your mails, whatever it is of some sort of work. So it is operated by these three faculty what we have. What is that? They are mind, body, mind, body, intellect. Like body is governed by the mind, and the mind is actually governed by our intellect. We are having this faculty called intellect or buddhi. So these three things together, mind, body, intellect package, which are responsible for whatever we do in the active state. Like as I said, the passive part will come later. In the active part, 2/3 of the day, wherever we are playing some active role in anything, these three faculty, mind, body, and intellect, these three things come into play. Everything we do or even don't do, it's a choice. These three things decides. So you can, in that sense, you can say the hierarchy was the intellect that governs our mind, and the mind then give the instruction to the body, then body actually executes that. So this is the normally hierarchy. This whole mind, body, intellect, this package we need to operate in the external world. We need it because we have to do, as I mentioned, we have a lot of duties to do, a lot of work to do, a lot of things to perform. Have to earn our living and take care of the family, and we have to do maybe our hobbies, and we are having socializing and all those activities. We need to spend time. We have to, use this mind, body, intellect package. We do need it even for going for an education or executing some kind of project or traveling somewhere. We do need things because we need to plan it. We have to take necessary action and execute it. This mind, body, intellect, these three things combinedly, it is also known as our ego. Ego is the thing we need. Ego is a package of what? Ego is a mind, body, intellect. That is a package. In the combined thing, we call it ego. Our ego needed when we wanted to operate in the external world. And then only we need our ego. And ego, ego functions, as I said, the intellect, and then intellect control the mind give the instructions, and then it, mind collect information through five senses, and then when the physical body executes it, or the collects the data and the process it and give the instruction back, and so on and so forth. Yeah, this part is not very complicated to understand. So this is the way we operate. And when we are passive state, like we are taking rest or sleeping, then in that sense, our so-called, the way that our mind, body, intellect operates during active state, it doesn't operate in the active state. So you can say that it is different types of mind is working there because body is not active. So physically, we are just sleeping, resting. There is no activity per se. But the mind is somehow active. That's why we dream and things like that. So we'll go into little detail of that state a little later to understand exactly how many types of the mind is operating to play here. But it's clear it is not the same mind under the mind, body, intellect package. So it is not the same mind and same intelligence at work when the physical body is in the passive state, or it is sleeping or resting. It is not the same, because it is having something else. So that part we'll understand. We'll go into the detail of the states of mind. What are the different states of mind? We'll understand it at that time. So if you go into the state of mind, then we will, I hope next point is state of mind, understanding the states of mind. So combined effect of mind, body, intellect, I think it is all explained. Now we are going to the understanding various state of mind. So now let us go into the little bit of detail of understanding the how mind operates. Okay. Mind operates through the flow, the current in the mind, those are the thoughts. So mind operating through thoughts. And the thoughts are being governed by the intelligence because that's how it controls. But in the awake state, as I said, 2/3 of a day, it has been seen that there was some experiment done and found in an awake state of a normal human being, approximately 60,000 thoughts passes through our mind daily. Those 16 hours or those many hours, so on and around 16,000, 60,000, not 16, 60,000 thoughts, 60 to 70,000 thoughts, it passes through our mind. So, and that comes automatically. We don't have any control. It comes, and that's how our mind works. So, if you see that what are the quality of those kind of thoughts, our thought, mostly whatever it does, it is found mostly they are negative in nature. What are those things they do? Either we grudge something happened in the past, mostly negative. So that they do, they are cooking in the mind. So that whatever happened in the past, who has misbehaved with us, who has said bad words to us, wherever we feel injustices and whatever our dues are not paid and that we treated unfairly, all those kind of, all the chitta opens up and then we keep on repeating them in our mind through thoughts. Those are the type of thought comes. Or what we do, we worry about the future. What will happen to us? And mostly what if something goes wrong? So, and then what will happen if we lose our health or we lose some relationships or the earning source and things like that for us or for our somebody near and dear ones. So we keep on worrying about the future. So that is the almost mostly the package of that 60,000 thoughts. Most of them are doing these things. Okay. So, and those are playing through our mind. The thoughts are flowing through the mind. What it does, it takes huge amount of our physical energy. You know that because some electromagnetic flow is operating through our mind, like the form of thoughts. So any kind of flow, or it needs energy, and those kind of energy is coming through. That takes our whatever the energy we have in the body. It takes most of the energy. That is why even if you sit down the whole day, you are not actually physically active. Still, end of the day, you feel tired. Suppose whole day you are watching TV and thinking various type of things. Yeah? But still in the end of the day, you feel tired. So, because physically you have not moved or done anything, like a physical activities. Why you feel tired? Because your mind is active all the time. Your mind is active, and that is why those mind activities takes your time. Maybe you don't know that your mind is active that much. But as I said, it happens. 60,000 thoughts comes and passes through our mind. And one, the nature of the thought is, it is not a stagnant. It always flows. And mostly random. There is no link between this minute what I'm thinking, next minute what I'm going to think, and then the minute after. There was a practice, if you journal your thoughts, like every 5 minutes you took note what is currently passing through your mind, then you will surprise maybe after 1 hour what kind of thoughts, variety of thoughts you are thinking and how unrelated they are. Sometimes you may be thinking about someone, next thought is come about something need to be bought from the market, and third thought it was, then something you need to go to bank, and fourth thing you have to check what is the score of that particular match, and the fifth thing you think that somebody is not well and what to do, like you have to go for medicine, buying and something. What time, next time you're thinking what to eat. There is no such, completely unrelated random thoughts sequence-wise. It is not that one thought you started in the 10 a.m. in the morning and the same thought you are following for the next 15 minutes. It never happens. Okay. So by 15 minutes time, maybe you have thought almost 500 thoughts by that time. Okay. And most of them are maybe one leading to another, but there is no link. There is no logical correlation. Yeah. Maybe few thoughts, then move on to the next topic and so on and so forth. Anyway, so this is the nature of the mind. And that is where I mean to say that hundreds of thoughts passing through your mind. And then comes when it stops, when you go to sleep. Then this flow of thought stops. Then we start dreaming and other thing. That is a different faculty. But the nature of those kind of thoughts, that stops. So this is how it operates. Again, when we wake up, again those come back and we starting our new day with the different types of thoughts. Not different types, different thoughts, but the types are almost same as I mentioned earlier. Okay. So this is how it propagates and it passes through and it works this way. So now let us go into something called Let us go to, so active part, whatever we are thinking in the active, that is called it is called conscious mind, which is where all thoughts are passing. It is when we go to the dream state, means when we sleep, go to the dream state, then the dreams not coming from our conscious state or conscious mind, that is coming from our subconscious mind. So now we got two. One is conscious mind, one is subconscious mind. What subconscious, what happens? Then that time we dream. All those things we see, whatever different stories we dream every day during sleep. Many things, many logical matters, but we see in the dreams that may or may not have any relevance to the practical world, but we see them. A lot of stories, a lot of these things, a lot of fantasies, a lot of worries, a lot of things come. Sometimes they come, sometimes it's scary. We call it nightmare. Sometimes it's a pleasant one. It's a very happy dream. So those are coming from our subconscious mind. This is a projection of subconscious mind. Only when the active mind is stopped during the sleep, then the subconscious they take over, and during that happens. Yeah. Now during the sleep time, not all the time we dream. It is a medically, scientifically proven. Like when we sleep, there are two types. During the sleep, our mind works. One time we do see the dreams, active dreaming state. What happens when we dream, actively dreaming? Then this eyeball then go ups and down like that. That's called rapid eye movement, REM by medical terminology. If you are sleeping, say, and somebody is putting a video camera on your eyes, in fact, some of the medical, experiments, they do it this way. Actual photo, video is put on your eyes. Eyes means on your face so that they can see a movement of your eye. So if during sleep, anytime, it's not only one day or only during medical, experiment. Anytime during the sleep, if there is any video camera, put it on or CCTV, put it on your eyes, and somebody watches it, then they will see some part of your sleep. There is a movement of the eyeball inside. Eye is not open, but if there is a movement, you can see it from the outside. There is the eyelid, they will see the inside. That is called rapid eye movement. While we are dreaming, rapid eye movement continues. So in other words, If somebody is watching from outside or some camera is there during our sleep, when they find this REM is happening, that is indicative we are dreaming that time. One point of time, sleep, it is not really clearly phase out. The first will be this, second will be. It's not like that. Maybe time different parts of the sleep, the rapid eye movement comes, or after going to sleep and before getting up, definitely it comes. Okay, that's why most of the things that we dream in the morning, and there is a lot of myth with all those things. Those "Subh ka sapna safal hota hai," something like that. Or that's not that is not the truth. But anyway, that's a cultural thing. People believe in that kind of things. That's okay. But so what I'm saying is, in between this rapid eye movement, there is a phase during our sleep. Our body is still sleeping. Body is still in the same condition. But what happens? Some part of this kind of sleep, even REM stops. Means that time we don't dream. This phase where we don't dream, that is called unconscious state. Okay, so during sleep, two types of state comes. One is the subconscious mind is acting, which is a dream state. And when the REM stops, the dreaming stops, we go into the so-called, you can say, the sleep and deep sleep. Sleep means when we are dreaming, and normal sleep, and deep sleep means where we don't even dream. Yeah? And that time we don't even remember. There is no such time frame, because dreaming, at least some activity going on. This another nature of the dream is that those kind of activities go super fast. They don't follow our clock time. Huh? Many things. In 10 minutes of dream, you can visit 50 places, talk to 100 people. It's very normal. Huh? Very fast. The storyline goes very fast in our clock time wise. But dream wise, it is normal. Some of the things we remember, some of the things we do, most of the things we don't. Anyway, now come to the state where we are not dreaming. This particular state, that is here, our mind become unconscious. Means not the conscious mind is working, which is, we are not active, we are sleeping anyway. Then during dream, subconscious was acting. And now, when we come to the deep sleep state, even subconscious is not acting. That is that time we call it a deep sleep, or that time you can say we are unconscious. The mind is unconscious. I hope this thing is clear. These three states, all of us, we experience every day. Like conscious mind, which is an active state, awake state. Then where we are sleeping and dream state of the mind, we experience every day or whenever we sleep. It's not during night only. Daytime, if you sleep, you will get the same thing. And then in the third phase comes where we become completely unconscious, even we are not dreaming. And as I said, medically, how do you prove scientifically that we are not dreaming that time? REM stops. In that experiment, when somebody records your, focus on your eye and they record the timing, they say that, okay, when you go to sleep maybe 10 p.m., from the 10 p.m. to maybe 11:30 or maybe 12 midnight, you have dreamt. I'm just giving for example. I'm not saying this is a common thing. Then 12 midnight to 3 a.m. you have not dreamed anything. Maybe then after that, maybe you get up sometime, went to toilet, etc. So that is just before that, maybe 3 to 3:30 you dreamt and came back, and after the 4:30 again you sleep. There is no dreaming, no rapid eye movement. And then again, so maybe it went up to the 6 o'clock, and then again 6 to 6:30 you start dreaming, rapid eye movement start, and you get up at 6:30, 6 to 6:30, half an hour you dreamt, and then you go to the awake state. In between, of course, when you were to washroom, etc., that is also awake state. So that is how. So if they during the sleep time, if they record the full length of your sleep, then some part when REM is there, then your subconscious mind is working. When the REM is not there, completely silent, completely blank, no movement, that time you are in the unconscious state of mind. Your physical body is still sleeping. Both are happening during sleep only. And then this is how, this is the phase, like conscious mind, active state, subconscious mind, dream state, and during sleep, deep sleep state, unconscious mind. These three, all of us, we do every day. Every day we go through these three. And we wake up, again the active starts. So there is no exception to these three states. All of us we go through. Maybe the duration may vary, like our sleep time is vary from people to people. And number of activities we do, the thoughts we do, that may vary because our intellect levels are different and things like that. That may change, or the quality of the thoughts. Maybe somebody is more positive oriented, so they think more positive thoughts, less negative thoughts. Some of them is too much of negative things, then they have the negative thoughts, many negative thoughts. But we do think, because normal state, we don't have control over thoughts. That's why those 60,000 thoughts comes and goes, whether we like it, don't like it, whether we know about it, we don't know about it, it goes, it does. All of you can, from your personal experience, you will know, maybe the number is shocking. You don't realize it is 60,000 thoughts, but they do. Yeah. So that is the level of types of thought, number of thoughts that passes through our mind. Okay, so these three, I hope it is clear, these three states of mind. There is another state of mind, which normally we don't come across. What is that normal, what is, well, beyond normal, that is one state of mind is there. So we already know of the conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. There is another state of mind which is called superconscious mind. Superconscious mind comes into play when our thought mind is silenced. Okay, I repeat. We are awake, yeah. So we are not sleeping. So there is one awake and two sleeping states. We are not talking about that. We are awake. Means we have all the senses are working and all those kind of things. So we can listen to anything and feel anything, what is happening around us. During dreaming, we don't feel what is happening around us. What is the temperature we see. During sleep, we don't know. Before and after, yes. We must set the AC temperature, but during sleep, we don't know. What is the color of bed sheet we are sleeping, we don't know during sleep. But or any sound is happening in the room, we don't know. Maybe the AC is making some sound during sleep, we don't know. Yeah. But the state I am talking now, that is the fourth step, you can say, where what I am mentioning as a superconscious state, I am explaining what happens there. So in that state, we are fully awake. We are not sleeping. Yeah? Fully awake, all our senses are working. We can listen to anything, smell anything, yeah? All those things, but mind is silenced. Like active mind is silenced. There is no thought in the mind. When that happens, then because the thoughts are not working, then our intellect cannot operate in that particular time, because it is a tool of the intellect, or you can say that mind-body intellect package is the ego. Yeah. So if the thought is silenced, then ego cannot operate. We need ego to operate in the external world. So if the thought stops, we cannot operate that time in the external world. Okay, we cannot, because the faculty we need, that we silenced it. We switched it off somehow. It's very difficult, but I'm just explaining what is happening there. So then what happens? We go a state which is beyond mind. Man ki pade. Because mind is not active. We silence the mind somehow. Assume there is something we used, some technique. Those 60,000 thoughts are not passing. I mean, rate. Some parts, a half an hour time in a day, we did something, where we able to stop our thought mind. Okay, so two things happens here. One is, as the active mind is not, there is no thought, then those energy, what I was talking about earlier, it takes a lot of our energy, those kind of mostly unnecessary, 99% of unnecessary thoughts. Those so-called usage of the energy stops, we save those amount of energy. Yeah. And then what happens, as the mind has quietened, silenced, this state is called stillness of mind. Okay. External noise, when it stops, we call it silence, right? Outside noise, the sound noise stops, called silence. Inside our mind, if the thoughts stop flowing, that is called inner silence or stillness. What stillness that? It gives access to something which is beyond mind. And of course, beyond body also. Bodily, you cannot reach there. Then that connection, you can say that our physical mind, because of the thought has stopped, it goes to some area which is beyond mind. There you can say that it has been taken by our consciousness. Okay, it is no longer a mind. It is no longer the senses. It goes to the level of consciousness, the energy level, which runs our life. So access to that domain is by stopping our thought mind. Even though our physical body is not working, not active, but we able to access something beyond physical domain, beyond reality, physical reality. And that can happen when you are going beyond your physical mind, accessing the consciousness, that consciousness, which is the vast, we call it soul consciousness. And that is, you can say that from physical mind or body mind, we access to the soul's mind. What is soul? I will explain a little later. So we go on beyond our physical mind, which is, you can say, in the brain or whatever, even though it is not concentrated in our brain only. But you can say physical mind, body, intellect, that mind we exceeded and gone into the soul's mind. That soul's mind, it also in the Vedic thing, the Rishis and Munis, they call it Chidakas. Then that particular domain is called superconscious mind or the soul's mind. It's the mind of the consciousness. Even though there is no such mind per se, but just to understand that, then which is beyond mind, it takes over, that is called superconscious mind. Okay. And that this particular state can happen when physical body were awake. But our mind has completely stopped. Mind activities have been stopped, but it is alert, but stopped. No thought. Then we are able to connect to which is beyond mind, and that is superconscious state. This thing is possible only during when we are physical body, we are meditating. In the deep meditative state, our mind stops. Physical, the thought stops, and we get access to the soul consciousness, and we able to reach the super consciousness. It is a vast thing. Everything is happening. All other mind business is happening into the domain of super consciousness. Yeah. If you just draw some kind of pyramid, maybe very tiny portion is a conscious mind. Okay, maybe it is a 5%, maybe the conscious mind in the pyramid, top small one block in the pyramid. Maybe it is a like a 50,000 blocks pyramid. The top one, that is a conscious mind, and then below that, maybe another 20-25% is that comes, or maybe out of 5,000, maybe another 1,000 blocks are the subconscious mind, and rest of the things are unconscious mind in the pyramid. Yeah, rest of the 4,000 blocks or whatever. I'm just giving that to understand the ratio. Right? So, but then where is subconscious mind? The whole domain. If you draw a picture, the background, the canvas, where everything is played, that is superconscious. Okay, it is a domain from where everything is being played. So if you see, this is the world and this is this, that is iceberg. The principle is there. So iceberg is normally given for the conscious and subconscious mind, but there is a unconscious state also, which is much bigger than subconscious as well. Yeah. So what is seen and unseen, and beyond that, the lot of effect you can see or you can iceberg what Nirupam is mentioning here. So if you take an example of an iceberg, then what the iceberg normally in the Antarctica and all these places, you see the several ice is floating, ice mountains and all those things. So outside that, what is floating outside in the air, that is only the 5%. But the 95% is below the water of that chunk of the ice. What cannot be seen. Maybe if you go to a submarine, you will be able to see that. So that is, in that sense, it is that many percent. You can say the whole sea itself is unconscious. And the whole universe is superconscious, where the art is there, and some part and 2/3 of the or 3/4 of the 70% is water, and in that is your unconscious mind, and then one chunk of ice. It is the most of them are subconscious, but is only above 5% above the water. That iceberg is the 5% that is a conscious mind. That is the understanding of the whole thing. So everything is played into this superconscious mind. Okay, and how to access that? That is through meditation, by just stopping the thought mind or go into the internal silence, the stillness. We can reach there by meditation. So earlier I mentioned, we normally, all of us go through three states, awake state, conscious mind, then subconscious mind, dream state, then unconscious mind, deep sleep state, all three. Why not fourth? Because not all of us are spiritual. We don't practice this meditation, and particularly, even though we practice, we hardly go into the no thought zone where experience of superconscious mind is possible. That's why you don't have any experience, and maybe in this world, maybe 99% the people, they don't know what is superconscious and how that particular thing is possible. So they rather put a challenge that this is not practical. It's a like they think it is an imaginary state, but it is not imaginary state. It is the most fundamental state. Yeah, but to reach there, the fundamental condition is you have to stop our thought mind temporarily. So, and that is not achievable by most of the people. That's why they think it doesn't exist. Anyway, so these four states. So I have normally in the workshop, etc., I project a slide to explain the four state. I will, share it with you, and then you will be objectively. That picture I like you remember that picture. So it will be easy for you to understand. Yeah. So let me see if I can share it now. So I have just started sharing. So let me know if you see the slide. Just a moment, it's I think wrong. Can you see a table, red and blue color?
No, Guruji.
No, yeah. Okay, let me try again. Can you see the slide now? Okay, so
Yes,
the name of the slide is states of mind. The top, the red color, and the side, there is a blue color heading. All right. So in this, if you see that there is a 2 by 2 in the table. What is the heading of the top part of the row? Row headings are, column headings are knowledge of I, yes, and knowledge of I, no. You can see my pointer, right? You can see my pointer. I'm moving the pointer here.
Yes, RPA.
Okay. So top is a knowledge of I. It's who am I? Is yes, and knowledge of I is no. Okay. And 2 by 2, what is the row headings? So first one is knowledge of surroundings. Yes.
मालूम नहीं, एक बार भांज करके यहीं रखे हो। और क्या बोल रहा है वो जो शर्ट और समेटा है ना,
Knowledge of surroundings, yes, and then the knowledge of surroundings, no. So first, this particular one, the column heading says, who am I? Answer is yes, then you fall into this column. If the answer is no, then you this one. And the knowledge of surroundings, if you know what is around you, as I mentioned, you can hear the sound and all this kind of outside, and what is the smell is there, what is the color of light in the room, daytime or nighttime, etc. If you are having that knowledge, it is yes, so you fall into this row. And if you don't know what is around you, in the room you are there, then that knowledge of surrounding, if you know, then you fall into this row. 2 by 2. So what is the first one? First one is knowledge of surrounding is yes, and knowledge of I is yes. So I know who am I, and I also know what is around me, the knowledge of surroundings. This particular state is called awake state. Normally, I was earlier explaining that 2/3 of a day, like 16 hours in a day, we be in the Jagruta Avastha. Means we are in this state, and it is operated by the conscious mind. And in the Sanskrit, its name is Jagruta Avastha. It is awake state. So normally we are most of the time we are in this state, awake state, and it is operated by, you can see, the conscious mind. Okay. So now knowledge of I is yes, that who am I is there, but I don't have a knowledge of surroundings, like which is the light of the room and what is the temperature of the room. If that is the case, we fall into this category. It is a dream state, and as it operates by subconscious mind. In the dream state, you are aware who are you. Like in the dream, you are aware of which character you are playing. There is no confusion. Suppose you are seeing a dream containing 5 people, some story is happening there. Which one is you, out of that 5 persons, which person is you, and what you are listening, what you are talking, and what you are seeing, that in the dream. So the knowledge of I is there, but the knowledge of surrounding is not there. Wherever your physical body is, surrounding knowledge, as I mentioned, that the room, around this, where you are, which color bed sheet you are lying down, what is the temperature of the room, is there some AC is making sound or any sound coming from outside, you don't know. Yeah. So knowledge of surrounding is not there. Your physical body is there, but knowledge of surrounding is not there. All these 5 senses having stopped working temporarily during that time. That's why there is no external input coming into your brain so that you can realize that, convert it into meaningful information. So that is not there. This state is called dream state, or it is operated by your subconscious mind. So, and it is in the Sanskrit, this particular state is called swapnavastha, dream state, swapna, dreaming. And as I was explaining earlier, medically, you can say that this kind of dream state has been established when there is a rapid eye movement, REM movement on the eyes, that confirms you are in this state. Then comes here, what is this? Surrounding of external knowledge is not there, and knowledge of I is also not there. Means earlier you were dreaming, at least during the dream you know that who are you, which character you are playing. This particular state, even that does not happening. And because there is nothing is happening, we lose the sense of time here. If somebody is in a deep sleep or in a coma, it can be medically induced state. So, or you just, during operation and all, with the anesthesia and all those things, they put it to so that you become senseless. That time also, we lose the sense of time. And that is the unconscious state. Because nothing is happening. That time, even we don't dream. Any of you have undergone that kind of surgery when you have been undergone into anesthesia? I had been once, long time back. So then, when I can feel that they put me some injection and something, and I gone into unconscious state. After the operation, maybe it took about 1 hour or so, and then recovery room and all. So when I get up from, when the effect of the anesthesia is reduced, I get up into that hospital. I think that was in Hinduja Hospital in Mumbai. Anyway, long time back, maybe 1998 or 99 or something. There was some abscess, some pus formation. They wanted to operate that to remove that. So anyway, so when we get up, initially when they took me, and I can listen to what the surgeon is talking and the anesthetist, and they push some kind of injection and kind of things. Then suddenly it goes blank, and then when I get up, I realize it is in the recovery room. There is a lot of beds, post surgery. They put the patients there, and it looks like just 1 minute ago I was going inside. And then when we asked somebody, they said that maybe they took me during 10 a.m. and that time it is 1 p.m. Okay, those many times gone. 3 hours, I don't realize. I don't have no memory, nothing. Yeah. Then I realized there is a bandage and all those kind of things, and then that is a different thing. But in between what happened, I completely don't know. No sense of time. Absolutely no information. No dream even. Absolutely zero. Anyway, so this time I have gone. Whether you go naturally during this state, unconscious state, or you are medically induced to go into unconscious state, or somebody after some accident or something they gone into coma. Coma is also same thing. All senses stopped working. That time even you don't dream. Yeah? There's an unconscious state. This is, you can say, the representative of unconscious mind. As it is unconscious mind, there is no activity of mind in that sense. So unconscious mind, you can say the non-activity of the mind. And this happens during deep sleep. So both these states, like this is in Sanskrit, it's called Sushuptavastha. So Swapnavastha and Sushuptavastha both happens every day with us during the sleep time. So only this part is during Jagrut Avastha is the awake state, which is normally happens most of the time. During the sleep, there's two types of state of mind happens with us. One is dream state, one is deep sleep state. And this is Sanskrit, it is when Swapnavastha and Sushuddhavastha. And this is where the subconscious mind become active, and this is where the unconscious mind become active. No activity. So in that sense, technically, you cannot say unconscious mind active. So it is non-activity of the mind that is an unconscious state. So I hope this is easy to understand and it is clear. So how we know it? This is the test we do. Then this state, so all of us, as I mentioned earlier, go through these three states every day. So there is all of us, whether knowingly or unknowingly, we go through that. After we wake up, we go to Jagrut Avastha again, then we sleep, then go to Sapna Avastha, then some deep sleep state, Susupta Avastha, again we go, these three things happening every day. This is a rare state which normally don't happen. Yeah, that's what I was explaining. So this is a meditative state. When we are meditating, then our thought mind stops. So we are not sleeping. So we are none of these two states. We are fully alert and aware about our surroundings. So knowledge of surroundings, yes. In fact, in this state, even if you're listening some sound, it magnifies. When you are deeply in meditation, if there is a small sound happen, there's a pin drop silence. No, even a pin drops, rather than earlier normal issues are minor. Sometimes we don't even able to listen, ping or something. But when in the meditative state, it becomes so alert, it magnifies. If somebody drops a pin, there's a tongue like that, you'll hear that level of sound. Even though the sound is minor, but you catches. So the power, the senses that enhances. Why? Because that energy, whatever earlier spent in your thoughts, are no longer there. So whole energy, the alertness, it raises your energy and vibration. That is the advantage of going into that state. This is also self-healing state. When our thought stops, whole energy utilized for healing our body, etc. So that is a self-healing state. And that time when our knowledge of surrounding is there, but this is interesting. Knowledge of I is no. Why the knowledge of I is no? The who am I is not there because your ego drops that time. The sense of I-ness, the me and I'm there, that drops because no longer the thoughts are there. So the whichever way our ego is to control us, those thoughts, those are no longer exist. So the ego drops. Ego cannot control. So the sense of I, in that sense, you can say that your typical identity, I'm so and so, I work this, I have these things, and this is all those kind of things. Those identities are dropped during the deeply meditative state. You are very highly energized and experienced state, but the ego is not there. The way you normally look at the world through your ego, mind, body, intellect package, that is not there. Okay, during this state. And that is why all those things are stopped. You have access to the vast, the soul's mind or the consciousness level. And that state is the meditative state. And this particular thing is superconscious mind or superconscious state. So that you go to the vastness. You become at par with the universe. That there is no difference between you and the universe. You go into that state and you go into that, whatever the accessibility of your soul is made available to you, because now you are super conscious. And that area, the time and space does not operate. So the physical level, what is the time and space, doesn't operate. So you can say, in the other words, that particular state is unity consciousnness, like it is a soul's consciousness level, and normally the other is called duality consciousness, good, bad, like, dislike, all those drops, the polar opposites drops. You just go to the unity consciousness. That is a superconscious state. That is your basically you are merged with the consciousness level. That is a superconscious state of mind. Okay. So I hope this it is clear, because it is important. Just remember this, the column headings and these row headings. Then it will make it clear all the time, so that this is Jagruta Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Susupta Avastha, and the state, the meditative state, that is called Turiya Avastha. Okay, that is the state of mind. That is a fourth state. Also, it is known as the fourth state of mind, which is Turiya Avastha. Turiya Avastha means deep meditative state, or the state of the where you have the connected with the consciousness of the divinity. This just simply going to that state. It is self-healing. It heals your body and mind, because it is much, much more powerful than whatever the mind and the body can create. Is 100 times more powerful, if not more. So that kind of state, and that's why you can have a rapid healing if you go to that state. Simply, if you go to reach to that state and hold it for a few minutes, it will heal a lot of ailments of your body. Maybe your mind also get healed. How do you know? That negative thoughts will stop happening, or at least reduce happening. Maybe physical pain and this and that and all those things. Maybe once at a time they can come and they can release. Emotional pain and a lot of trapped energy, they get released. That's why sometimes people feel like crying, etc. Those are released during meditation. But in the bargain, you reach to the Turiya Avastha. That is a meditative state. That is a healing state. That is a state of you are in the level of the consciousness level, soul consciousness level. That is the state that is there. So it is uncommon, but that do exist. Whoever has been doing spiritual practices, the main goal, the sadhana, is to reach to Turiya Avastha, reach to that state, and experience super conscious mind, which has access to all the higher dimensional things. It can experience the knowledge and wisdom and everything is all available there. Yeah. Okay. So then next point is about domain of soul and spirituality. Okay. Understand. So states of mind is already I explained here. So what is spirituality? Spirituality, even though just now I explained, spirituality is how to reach to the soul consciousness. Simple. The technique, what you use to go to that, your soul consciousness, connection with the soul, that is called the spirituality. This soul, which is not a part of the physical body. We have a 7-body system. And physical body is the first one. It is called Annamaya Kosha. There is a Sanskrit is the Panch Kosha, Annamaya Kosh, then Pranamaya Kosh, the energy body, then Manomaya Kosh, the emotional body, the Vijnanamaya Kosh, the knowledge body. Then Panchakosha, the fifth one is the Anandamaya Kosh. And there are 2 more. Annamaya, you can say the 5 and above. What is the fifth body? Fifth body is the causal body. Cause of everything. That is a causal body. And where all the karmic file, etc., those are stored, the causal body. Then the 6th one is the spiritual body. 7th one is the nirvanic body, which is merges with the creator. So where all the bodies get dissolved, then they merge into the universal consciousness, that is a 7th body. So in this body system, 7-body system, I repeat, the physical body, then the energy body, then emotional body, knowledge body, causal body, spiritual body, and nirvanic body. In this, from 3rd to 6th, what are 3rd to 6th? 3rd to 6th are emotional body, then the emotional body, the knowledge body, the causal body, spiritual body. These 4 bodies together, as a combined package, we call it a soul. Because out of the 7 bodies, they know where it is mentioned soul, right? So soul comes, it is basically the package of 3rd to 6th, Nirupam, screen here I intentionally kept it because I will just continue this discussion and then I'll go to the next slides. That's why. So So go up to that level. So there are 7 body systems, and in the 7 body system, and this 3rd to 6th is soul. Why the first 2 are not? Physical body and the energy body, at the time of death, these 2 bodies that dissolve. Yeah. So they cannot be the part of the soul. Also the 7th body, which is merged to the universal consciousness, when all other bodies, they go, in fact, merges with the universal consciousness, it loses its identity. Soul has got its identity. Our soul has an identity. Yeah. When it loses its identity, it cannot be also part of the soul. So 7th body, the nirvanic body is also not part of the soul. Rest is a part of the soul. So whenever we saw the soul consciousness, or that our higher self, that means basically the 3rd to 6th body. That package, what we all have, that is the thing. But I just touched upon that, but it is how this is for understanding purposes. The mind is in the physical body, and the Manamaya Kosh, or the, that Vikanamaya Kosha, Manamaya Kosha, that is actually the knowledge body, is not the physical knowledge. Okay. Physical knowledge is contained by our brain, which is part of the physical body. Knowledge of the external world. This knowledge is the higher knowledge, universal knowledge. And you can say that is the mind of the soul. Yeah, knowledge body. So that is a different than our this knowledge, what we know, the acquired knowledge from the external world. I just assume that there is a difference. Knowledge body does not mean how much you are knowledgeable in the external world. It's not that. How much you are connected, your wisdom and things like that. The universal knowledge, that is your knowledge body, or Vijnanamaya Kosh. Okay, so there is a difference there. Okay, so that is about that about the soul. Now coming to the next point, which is the domain of the soul. What is the domain of the soul? I explained, and the spirituality is how to connect that. That is your sadhana. Okay, so now I hope this point is clear. So now I come to the next slide, which explains. Now I'm going to the correlation, interrelation. So we understood what is a physical body, its functions. We understood different states of mind, which is this one. And then we have also understand that is something which is beyond that, the subconscious, superconscious mind. So that is the Turiya Avastha. So that is the, you can say, the state of the soul. Yeah. We access to the superconscious mind, that the knowledge body or the mind of the soul we access only during when you are in a Turiya Avastha. Otherwise, you are limited to your physical mind, which is not into that state. It is not soul's mind, it is a physical mind and the brain. Yeah? So that is the thing. So now I'm going into the explaining the correlation between all the mind, body, and body, mind, and soul. Okay, the interrelation between that. So let me see if I can change the slide here. I changed the slide, but I didn't think this come here. Okay, I will go out and start sharing again. I shared another slide. Can you see that? Please somebody tell me or give me a thumbs up. Okay, fine. So I changed the slide. The title is now Mind, Body, and Soul. So let us understand the interactive. That is actually, this is the slide which is topic of today's roles of soul in daily activities. So we are now, by now we have, can you see my pointer? A state of mind I'm pointing now. Can you see my pointer? Okay, good. So state of mind, we know that you are awake state, dreaming state, dream state, unconscious state, and Turiya Avastha. Or it is, if you see the Sanskrit word, it's Jagrut Avastha, Swapna Avastha, this is Sushupta Avastha and Turiya Avastha. Okay, these are the 4 states of mind. I showed that last slide and we explained in detail. So these are the 4 state of mind is possible. During these 4 state of mind, what is the state of our body that time? When we are in awake state, in Jagrut Avastha, then our physical body is active. We are doing normal activity. That is, 2/3 of the day we are active. Many activities. In the first point, what I explained, what are the activities we do, and everybody knows. I need not to explain it again. So our body is active. Then, when we are dreaming, in dream state or Swapnavastha, what is our physical body is doing? It is sleeping. It is sleeping, physical body, and that time we are dreaming. Okay. Then, when we go to the deep sleep, which is unconscious state, Sushuptavastha, then what our physical body is doing, it is sleeping. So these two are same. As I explained earlier, that both the state of mind happens during the sleep only. Only one part of the time we do dream, and another part of the time we don't dream. We go to the deep sleep where we lose sense of time and everything. That's Sushuptavastha. So both the places, our physical body, the state of the body, we are sleeping. Yeah. So let us go back to third column before coming to the fourth. Fourth is some unique state that we'll discuss at the end. At the time when we are awake, then our state of the body is active. What is our soul doing? Soul is witnessing. Why witnessing? Because soul having a contract with us. Every time we incarnate, we take birth. Soul has a free will contract. The free will contract is it will not interfere into our daily activities. Free will, what are the free will we have? You have whatever I'm going to think, under free will, whatever I'm going to say, whatever I'm going to do right now. The 3 things fully under my free will, under my control. Soul is intentionally, it is not interfering into it. I can think anything, I can say anything, I can do anything right now. Soul will not come. And that is our free will. And this free will is, of course, governed by our ego, mind, body, intellect package. So normally our free will is governed by our mind, body, intellect package, which is our ego. And as ego is operating, then our soul is in witness mode. And as I mentioned, why it is witness mode, but that is the agreement is free will. When we incarnate, that is the free will. Same thing happens at the time of dreaming. At the time of dream, our subconscious mind takes over. But again, the soul is not coming into the picture. Because you are dreaming, it is coming, our subconscious soul is still witnessing. It is maybe protecting our body, etc., but it is not interfering into our dream and coming and doing something. And still it is connected. Connected with us and just witnessing. Then when we go to the deep sleep, our physical body is sleeping, then it becomes active. In fact, during the deep sleep state, our so-called, like a soul, it takes disconnect because there is no activity on the body, neither we are dreaming, there is no such thing needed. So it disconnects from the body and it does its own business. In fact, during that state, our soul goes and meet with anybody at the soul, in the spirit world or the soul domain, go to any higher dimension and all those kind of things and gather knowledge. Even many things it gets some methods or some special knowledge for our own healing and for our own betterment and all those kind of things. Just before we get up or just before we start dreaming again, it comes back. Instantly. In the higher dimension, there is no time and space. So how many places it visits, how long it takes, is an irrelevant question. Because those 2 parameters doesn't operate there. Even, you can just for your understanding purposes only, I'm saying that even if you are in deep sleep for 10 minutes, during that period, our soul can visit our 30 lifetime, past life experiences and come back. That much. Okay? I'm just for example, I'm just giving for analogy purpose. So our 10 minutes makes nothing to that. It is our wish. How many, different domain, how many different, maybe lifetimes it will visit or gather informations, or, how many, higher dimensional masters it will contact and things like that. It's unlimited in our sense. Okay. But it does its work, and just before it reconnects. Sometimes people are asking, you are saying that soul is not within us. You always say the soul is not within us. Soul contains the body. Body doesn't contain the soul. That is correct. So who is living? When I say the soul is leaving the body and coming back to the body. Okay, that is only for, the words purposes, but the correct thing is it is a connection disconnection, because during the deep sleep it disconnects itself. So it is, go all the other domain and things like that. And connect doesn't mean it is bound or it is jailed in the body or connected only with the body. That time also it can go and different things. But this time it leaves the body basically. And then it does its work. So that time you can say that is the time it is active. Wherever it is not connected with our physical body, that time. So when it goes to the result, that time it will get, you can say that in that sense, the soul is active that time without taking into this account. And many people ask me, if our soul does so many things, then why we don't remember those things? Two things. One is, first, you are in a deep sleep or unconscious state. Your mind is not having any recording system that time because it is unconscious. And secondly, while the so-called soul travels to different domains and all, it does not carry our physical brain with it, where the memory is. So that instrument is lying in your physical body. So that's why when it travels, there is no such information of that memory. When it comes back, during that jerk, maybe little bit of those from Chidakas, like the soul's memory, transferred into our brain when we are dreaming these things. So that is spillover effect, I call it. And that is why we have a deja vu. Deja vu means when we are visiting some place for the first time, we feel we might have come here before. That is a deja vu. Means why? Because our soul has already traveled that before we go there physically. It has all the information. When it came back to the physical body, maybe night before, then that particular information has been little bit of, fraction of it spilled over to our physical brain, and that's why it becomes our so-called memory. We cannot correlate from where this has come, but you can feel that it looks very familiar. Either it is like that or your past life memory maybe. Yeah. So anyway, this has to involve your soul consciousness before you have this kind of experiences. But those are exceptions. But normally we don't have any information about where our soul went, to whom we meet, whatever the discussion happened, and all those kind of stuff. Nothing. Yeah? So that is how it operates. So I hope these three things are clear. This is the fourth step, is a very interesting state. As I mentioned, the Turiya Avastha normally, the deep meditative state, normally we don't come across. It is but that's why it is so unique. So Turiya Avastha, when the state of mind is a meditative state, Turiya Avastha, what happens? What is the role state of the physical body? It is meditating. What is the state of our Turiya Avastha, state of the mind? It is alert, but not sleeping, not unconscious. Yeah, it is alert and aware. It knows what is happening, everything, fully alert and aware. So it has got it. Mind is silent but active. Active means it is operational. That mind, and the body is meditating. It's not sleeping. It's not unconscious. We are meditating. So alert and aware, and we are we just thought we have come into control, so that we're going to beyond in the soul level. This is the only state where it becomes interactive. When both this mind and our soul's mind and the physical mind can communicate. In this case, it was active, but it is witness mode. It is dreaming, but it is witness mode. But this is now the unconscious mind is non-active, but soul is active. So there is also no communication possible here. Only communication possible here where we are meditating. In the Turiya Avastha, that communication, consciously we can ask some question and get the answer, the interactive. This question answer session, the interactive mode is possible only during this Turiya Avastha, or when mind is in Turiya Avastha and body is meditating. So this is possible, the interaction is possible during this state of mind, and this state of the body, it is interaction is possible. So that's why all our sadhana or whatever the spiritual practices we are doing, that is to reach to this state so that we can consciously interact with our own soul. And that's why whatever the soul's knowledge we can download at this state. And that is becomes, when the person get enlightened, this becomes a broadband connection. So whether the person is actual physically meditating or not doesn't matter. It would open and then the connection is there. Because by the time that person has learned the distinction between what is the downloaded knowledge and what is acquired knowledge, means which is coming from the five senses and which is coming from inner knowing. That's why it does not matter the physically also the person is meditating or not. The masters are normally operating in the meditative state all the time. How they maintain meditative state all the time? The technique is very simple. So simple, that's why people don't believe it. Yeah, they just simply have to be aware of their breath all the time. When you are aware of the breath, you can maintain the meditative state. Even you open your eyes, talking, working, driving, doesn't matter. But if you breath, you are connected. What is there in the breath? Because by following your breath, you are bringing your mind, you're the present moment. And the present moment is the bridge, the now moment, bridge to the consciousness level, the soul level. So first, they have a mastery. The thoughts are not there. So they are not working thoughts. Driving and all those things, subconscious mind takes care of it. So consciously, they are not being able to focus on that. And that mind is calmed down or fully under control. Maybe little bit of thought near, they know this thought is needed for, I'm driving, taking a turn, which side, this part of the mind will take care, but main part is a fully aligned and it is alert and the conscious and interaction is happening. Even while talking and saying, they can download messages and convey it to you, even though they are so-called active, but they are actually mind-wise, they are in a meditative state of mind. And that's why they are interactive all the time. And through soul consciousness, they access to the universal consciousness, and that happens. So that is how it works. Okay. So let's see that now I think let me stop sharing. Okay, then let me see what is the next point is. Role of soul, physical, mental state that I explained, invoking soul in daily life and the spiritual practices. Okay, so now this part I just explain it to you that what happens is that when the enlightenment is happen, or if you are in a meditative state, you can start interacting with it, and by the spiritual practices, if you can evolve, first you have to get mind control, the thoughts are controlled, your energy is high, you're able to connect even time to time, if not continuously like enlightened state, but time to time you can just contemplate, you can come as an inner knowing or intuition, it can come, the soul's messages or things like that, and that you implement in your daily life, or any information you require, your soul knows everything. Yeah, it connects to a knowledge body or wherever you might have heard it in your past life, something, or read it somewhere, etc. All of those kind of informations are available. It can download it instantly to you. So this is the state. When you come to that state, then you finally evolve from not operating into this world through your ego. Ego you bring only when you need it. You plan to journey somewhere and preparing a report in the office or something like that. You bring the mind, do it and get it back. Then most of the time you are, because as your soul knows everything, that is your inner guru. Then you invoke the inner guru all the time, even during awake state. So what you basically do, you surrender your free will. Like your ego mind, you surrender. And then you offer to the soul to take care of your daily life. Yeah? So this means using free will, you have to surrender your free will. Only then your soul will take over, then your inner guru will take over, consciousness will take over, and you run your life moment by moment. Every moment you will get a guidance and you just act on it, and that's it. This particular state, when you come to this state, when you're no longer, grudging what happened in the past or worrying about the future, and that moment, whatever you intend, it will be given to you. You act on that without any further, doubting or, thinking too much on this. You just do that, you will be fine. And that is the way, if you lead your life, that is called the holistic living. Means you are fully aligned with your soul consciousness, and your soul runs your life, basically. As your soul runs your life, you cannot make mistakes. You cannot commit any karma, because it will be karma, zero karma principle is working. And you will have all the negative qualities. There is no need. No need to have the jealousy and anger and things like that. You will be operating from your own soul consciousness. Whatever the purpose of your life, you'll be operating and meeting that goals without disturbing others. And the theme, that is also part of my teaching. The theme you operate is no harm to anything or anyone. You don't harm anyone, because the moment you do it, you'll ban karma. No harm to anything, like any animal in the society or in the environment. And those you will not harm, because there is repercussions, energetic repercussions. Yeah? So as you are aware, so nothing will that happen through you, because you are governed under the soul consciousness. So you will be have that life is called the holistic living. So that is how the all enlightened, the people, they lead their life. They are not scheming and thinking too much and all. The moment they do it, and they have to bother that what will happen in the future, and if it goes wrong and etc. And nothing will go wrong. Means even if something goes wrong, they accept it. Maybe that was needed for our spiritual growth or personal growth or strengthen ourselves. It is not criticizing. Yeah. Even any pain comes, there is a learning behind it. It comes us to strengthen in certain area. If any area of our life we face any problem, that means we are yet to learn something from there. That is only it means that. So they know it. They just work towards it and things like that, and get over it and become, powerful and all those things. And it is nothing to do with anyone else, because by the time they're aware that it is only everybody's journey is unique, their soul's purpose is unique. There's no point in comparing with somebody else. If something is not happening in my life, that means, and soul level, I have not chosen that to happen. Conscious mind, maybe I'm crying for it, I'm demanding it and all. That is a who doesn't know everything. That is why that it is doing it. But in the soul level, exactly, whatever you need, what time you need, and all those things. If some challenges comes, that is only to make you stronger and learn through your experience and evolve. And at the soul level, there is no duality, no good and bad. So no matter how you level it, but it comes, all the so-called challenges comes to strengthen you. No matter the challenge you say it is, it's a good or bad, it doesn't matter. End of the day, you complete your end of the holistic living, you complete your life, you evolve. And in this, this process, if you get enlightened, no need to come back here. This, whatever the lessons you have, wanted to learn experientially in this planet is over. No need to come back. If you come back, just come as a tourist. No karmic thing left to do all those things. So that is how you complete the life's journey on this planet Earth. Okay, so with this, we'll conclude our today's session. So if there is any question, you are welcome to ask me. Let me save the attendance. Okay, Hari Om, go ahead.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam, pranam.
Guruji, this last part which you had just brought out, that we surrender our ego or free will. So I'll request you to elaborate this process. How do you surrender? Verbally or while you are in meditation? What time and how?
Okay. No, that is very good question. See, first you bring it to the intention. Intention is you need to do it. And then it doesn't matter verbally. So then you have to, through a prayer, you have to offer to the divine. In my case, I have offered to my Babaji that Babaji, I surrendered myself, thoughts, words, and action at your lotus feet. So it is that is what it happened. The question is not how you surrender it. Question is how you react to the situation when it comes in your life. It is truly implemented or not implemented, based on which your success comes.
Correct.
When some tough situations comes, you start blaming, somebody else or your destiny or thing like that, and then you are not actually surrendered everything. You still think that somebody is facing the difficulty, and that is your ego. So in the process, if you surrender by ego is still operating, the surrender is not complete.
Okay.
It's just a simple prayer, but that event is not important. Important is what follows with it. How much you trusted to your, to whom you believe, or that's your surrender from your side is actually you surrendered it, not because of that the success depends. Most of the cases, what happens, you are in part and part. Like when everything goes well, you say, I'm surrendered, I'm everything, by divine grace, everything is happening. The moment something comes which is not of your liking, then you feel that there is something wrong, and this is, you're not supposed, it is not a divine, it is something wrong there. This entity within you, who is considering the adversities are not divine, that is your ego. Okay, so that is where I'm coming to. If you truly surrender, good and bad, both, that is important. Okay, if you thinking, thought, word, and action, the three things under your free will. If you always these things, I'm surrendered. So whatever happens, it's for my good. Okay, I take whatever the momentary thing comes, the feel comes, I do it. No harm to anything or anyone. If you operate from there, then you are, fully aligned, and that is how you implement this free will, surrendering the free will. If those adversities, if they can pinch you back and you just say, okay, what's wrong? Then even if people ask, I have surrendered, so what's wrong with me? You're wrong with you is you have not surrendered fully. Otherwise, so-called not so good things also you could have been accepted with a smile, considering it as divine will. Okay, so that is the only thing. When that also goes, then you go beyond, that level, when you kind of fully aligned with the divinity. Anyway, just I wanted to, that reminds me the story that I went to, what is called past life regression and all those kind of things. And to long story short, after the regression happened, I came back to the hotel in a Gurgaon. Dr. Chaudhary had the session, and there I was thinking maybe, somehow whatever came out through me, my ego has, I somehow tricked that hypnotherapist because nothing in this session came out which I didn't know earlier. So I thought maybe somehow I am saying all those things. That time, that Mataji, the communication, not Mataji, Mataji came after that time. That time some voice came. Later on I realized it was Mataji, but some voice came that you are still thinking, it is your thought. So even it is your thought, you surrendered, right? If you surrendered, even that thought belongs to me. Means indirectly, what is meant is, still there is an ego left in you, which is thinking it is my thought. Who are you? Okay. That's why that Mataji is telling, that time I didn't know Mataji, but Mataji was telling me, if you surrendered your life to me, then, and of course I surrendered to Babaji, but the communication was from Mataji. Anyway, just to avoid the confusion, say the Babaji has told that if you surrender it to me, but that I did in 2010, at the time of enlightenment, the Guru Kripa happened. That time I surrendered, and this is happening in 2013 December. That time, if you surrender it to me, even if the thought came in your mind and something you are speaking out of your mind, that also belonged to me. Okay, so then it becomes very clear. Anyway, hope you got your answer.
Hanji Guruji. Now, Guruji, what is the origin of thoughts? Since thoughts are the main issue, which we need to transcend. So, if we know the origin of thoughts, then one can try to cut down from that angle.
Yeah, but no, that is correct. But cut down of the thought is a different method. That is to energization, high energized level, it will stop automatically.
Okay.
But the origin of thought at the energy level, that is where the intention is coming. Intention which happens before thought.
Okay.
First intention, the energetic, like a what is called pulse forms energetically. That is the intention, and that converts into a thought later on. But
Correct.
in the normal state, what happens is that our ego has different kinds of way to generate the thoughts. Even that kind of generation come from our memory and our particularly anything emotional heart or this kind of stuff. It can generate thought out of that as well, like from memory and things like that. Our ego can generate that. So it is a source of those kind of thoughts, the content of the thoughts rather. But as a thought is an electromagnetic wave, it is passing through that, and it forms from the energy bundle, and then when it flows through our mind space, that then becomes a thought. So if you see your origin of normal thoughts is ego. So that is our ego generates it, and they use our memory and our emotional background and those kind of things. Those are you can say the database from where it chooses something and it injects into our mind as a form of thoughts.
And Guruji, when we say that during deep sleep, the soul leaves the body.
Yeah.
So at that time, I believe there is a silver cord which connects the soul with the body.
That's what talking astral travel. That's a different thing. I'm not talking
that's
astral.
What I want to ask. Astral travel is different from the...
Astral travel is different, and whatever I mentioned about the soul leaves and meet with somebody else, that is different. Okay.
That is different. Okay.
Yeah. Astral travel we can consciously do, and that time the silver cord connects between the astral body and your physical body. Okay. That is astral travel. You can say that is a limited version of the thing, but that is not a whole soul.
Okay.
It's only the astral body. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful session.
Okay. Monali, go ahead.
Yes, Pranam Guruji. You mentioned that during meditation, if the tear comes and all that, that is trapped energy. I told you earlier also during meditation when I think about Babaji, tear comes sometimes, and it's sometimes I sob also. So what is this? Is this my trapped energy getting released during meditation or what?
Say it again. What? It's not. Your voice is breaking. Say it again.
Okay. You just said not during meditation. People gets emotional, started crying. That is our trapped energy getting released. And I asked you in some previous session that while thinking about Babaji, tear comes to my eyes. And sometimes I start sobbing also. So what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Is my trapped energy getting released, or I'm getting connected with Babaji? Or
No. That is different. That is the tears of joy. When we get too much connected and fully devoted, particularly if it happens with Babaji or Mataji or any divine entity, that happens, that is the tears of joy. It is not your some emotional pocket of energy is coming out. No, not at all. Okay. That is a different state, your elevated state, where it touched your emotional body. You see, I explained physical body. Second is energy body, and the third one is
yes,
emotional body.
yes.
So in that time, you touch your emotional body, and that is towards the way of divinity, towards the way of oneness. And when it gets touched, it expresses itself sometimes in the form of tears. That is the tears of joy. About the Guru Kripa, when it happened, the moment it is happened of at the time of enlightenment, when wow, Babaji's grace has happened, and even I start crying even now. It happened in 2010 December. Okay, so those are different. Those you touched your emotional body on the way of purity. That is nothing to do with your normal crying, you can say. So it is not about emotional burst of the bubble of the trapped energy and thing like that. No, it is something completely different. Even though outside it looks same, but see, how do you know that it is the trapping energy release, or it is this kind of crying? The first time, the pain you will feel. Like same memory, it will come back and feel the pain. If it is releasing some, heart or, some wound, past wound. But in the later case, what you are experiencing, that time you will feel joy, ecstasy.
Yes, I mean,
It is not painful.
just
It is
thinking
not at all
about
painful.
Babaji, tear comes to my eyes. Not always, not every day.
Yes.
But sometimes when I sit for meditation, I don't know why it happens.
No, that is ecstasy. That is a different thing. That is not painful at all. That is having overflowing of joy happens, and then we also same time we also tear. Tears come roll down from our eyes, even the height of the joy. That is a different thing, and that is also normal. That you feel that it is those that high level of sensitivity and high level of devotion. It only tells that. Okay.
Thank
very
you,
good.
Guruji. We are blessed. Really, we are so much blessed. Thank you.
All Babaji's grace.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Indranilda.
Good evening, Rajdeep.
Good evening.
You had mentioned that, very rightly you said that if you're sitting at a place for hours on end without any physical activity, you still get tired. Correct. Yeah, because of maybe so many thoughts going through. Now, when you're sleeping, there are no thoughts and you wake up fresh. So, can it be said that meditation is a substitute for sleep?
Oh, yes. See, normal thumb rule is that 1 hour of meditation is equivalent to 2 hours of sleep. Means there are some yogis, they just meditate the night, maybe 4 hours or 3 hours in the night. They don't need any sleep. Okay, they're equally get up and go. So it is actually healing. And secondly, another, just as the discussion came, during the sleep, as I mentioned, our soul moves on higher dimension. Before we get up or before it starts dreaming again, it comes back. While doing it, it brings a lot of fresh energy and a lot of healing things within the body.
Mm-hmm.
But body needs, soul knows. So it brings that. That is also another reason when we get up, we feel fresh.
Right.
Because soul does its work during that time. Okay.
Right.
It heals the wounds, even though it is a mental thing and all, it heals it. So that's why we feel fresh, physically fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason.
So it is a myth then, the 7-hour sleep required and all, because people have managed with 3 hours of sleep also.
Correct.
And are still very fresh.
Yes, if you stop your mental activity, that is the condition.
Yes. Thank you. The other question related, actually it is nothing to do with the soul. Have you heard of something called the circadian rhythm in terms of sleep? The circadian rhythm.
Okay. No, what is that? Just elaborate it a little bit.
It is a rhythm of nature which influences your sleep pattern. It is not connected to soul,
Hmm.
but maybe we can talk about it later, because how is that connected to sleep?
Okay. Yeah. So no, this particular topic you can just send into the,
Okay,
the
okay,
group chat. The terminology I will check.
okay, okay.
Maybe
Fine.
we address it into different terminology. Yeah.
Correct, correct.
So we'll
Okay,
check. Then I can explain you what it is. Okay.
all right. Okay,
Okay. God bless you.
thank you.
Okay. Sreshi.
Yes, thank you, Guruji. I wanted to ask you about the experiences that we have, um, and all the time, like most of the time, I think when some experiences we go through, uh, whether it is soul's decision to experience this as an experiential understanding, or is it coming from our past karma? And I mean, I I just can't stop thinking about it, in that sense, that why certain things happen. uh, So, what should be our approach to that? And also, when you were explaining to Hariom sir about surrendering our free will to the divinity, uh, and in this case also, some of the experiences that we experience, I submitted, but then, like you mentioned about part, uh, i I also think that if it is coming from my karma, then I need to suffer it. Then why am I like putting it on Babaji or Mataji? It's my karma, so I have to suffer it or experience it. So what should be the um, approach, or my approach towards it?
Okay, so if you say the best approach, if you surrender moment by moment to the divine, whatever comes, you perform without harm to anything or anyone, that is perfect. Okay, that is holistic living. That is a short answer to your question. But let me go into, because there are a lot of points you brought into. So let me go into the other part is, whether it is whatever is happened in our life, it is our karma or not. Most likely yes, it is the karma. Whether our soul is involved into the 100%, without permission of our soul, nothing can happen in our life. So in that case, you can say whatever is happening in our life, it is that the our as per our soul's plan, or with due permission of our soul. There is a higher purpose, not the immediate one. There may be something we need to get conveyed into, to us, what we learn experientially and we grow. That is about the soul point of view. Now, let me give you another higher level of understanding. When a soul matures, like already, as you know, all of us, we already have the 700 lifetimes, yeah, already human life. So in the 700 lifetimes, we might have seen, of course, we born 700 times and we see 700 different families, when we met maybe millions of people and different relationships. We have a lot of, types of thousands of types of suffering and type of, things, situations we gone into and all those kind of things. So from the soul point of view, this is not something new. It might have faced earlier or several times also. So it is done that. Maybe there different purposes there. Maybe earlier we didn't, learn our lessons. So that's why it is coming back again to learn that lesson experientially. That is the reason soul sometimes repeats it and bring it to us in this life. This is one way of look at it. Another way of looking at it is when a soul evolves, when soul become a mature. So when the time comes when we, finish all the courses into the planet Earth and we evolve out of it, that particular life, no, that most likely the last life or last, few lives, soul intentionally chooses lot of obstacle, lot of challenges and lot of things to face and overcome and finally go beyond. In other words, if you see that so many things like the horrific thing happening in your lives, all of them are soul is bringing, then you understand that the time of your enlightenment or something has come. Yeah, that's why you are undergoing these kind of things. Even like when I met with my Guruji Prem Nirmalji in 2008, that time I asked this question, that why that nothing in my life is working. Earlier I was having a professionally very, very successful. And that time also I started giving some professional, some backstabbing and the politics and things like that, threatening to my jobs, it's all this kind of thing. So that is also going out of my hand. So then that Guruji told me these things. So when nothing is working in your life, understand the time of your enlightenment has come. Why I mentioned that, but when I look back at that time and now, this is so true. Sometimes those kind of challenges comes in all together, all at the same time, because they accelerate our ascension. End of the day, nothing really matters. Like all our things, one day we'll leave this world, everything will fall behind. Those are that is man is mortal. Ultimately, that is the destiny we all have. But in the process, whatever the wisdom will get, that wisdom cannot get if everything is normal, life is going smooth and fine and nice, will not get there. That wisdom will not come. As I mentioned, it is like if we have a potential, then like it become a diamond, it comes from the coal mine, that life gives us all these hardships, like a heat and the pressure and grinding, hitting, cutting and all this thing, whatnot, polishing and all, so that the worth comes out. So those kind of thing, if you take that in that spirit, then only we can go beyond and it will stop happening with us, in future. But if we get into the troubling and get into the complaining, get into the poor me syndrome, why it is happening to me and all those kind of things, all those things, again, those troubles that multiply, keep on coming because we have not learned our lessons. That is the higher level of looking at it. So just consider it as that the challenges, whatever is a divine, it has to, if I have to go through, so be it. I will go through it to the best of my understanding and awareness, and rest, ma phaleshu kadachana, rest, it will leave it to the divine. Then if you come to that approach, then you will be fine. You will be completing with your life with all soul's purpose, soul's plan, everything you will learn, and then you evolve. Okay?
Okay, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Okay, God bless you. Okay, as there is no further question, we'll conclude our session with Shanti Path. Oh. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu. Sarvesham shantirbhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om sarve bhavantu sukhino. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.